Imagine waking up to breaking news. India and Pakistan have launched their first missiles. How would Asia's map change? And how would the global economy collapse within hours? India and Pakistan have long lived under the shadow of simmering tensions, a history of conflicts, wars, and mutual hostility, with Kashmir always at the center, ready to ignite at any moment. But what if everything suddenly changed? What if the balance collapsed and the unimaginable happened? In this dark scenario, a simple border clash or an act of terrorism blamed on one side could be the spark that ignites the fire, and the military escalation would follow rapidly. The first stage might see limited land and air battles, focused on disputed areas like Kashmir using conventional weapons. But as losses mount and either side senses defeat, the nuclear option might come to the table. Imagine within hours, long-range ballistic missiles carrying nuclear warheads dozens of times more powerful than Hiroshima, launched by both sides, entire cities erased in moments, tens of millions of casualties within a day, and both nations plunged into darkness and ruin. But the real nightmare would not stop there. Nuclear fallout would rise into the atmosphere, triggering what scientists call a nuclear winter, blocking sunlight for years, plunging temperatures globally, destroying crops, and sparking worldwide famine. The global economy would shatter, stock markets crash, oil prices skyrocket, and supply chains between Asia and Europe collapse. With millions of refugees flooding neighboring countries, creating an unprecedented humanitarian crisis. Politically, major powers like China, Russia, and the US would be forced to intervene, either to contain the conflict or to protect their regional interests. But there's a worse possibility. If the war spreads into neighboring countries like Afghanistan, Iran, or Southeast Asia, we could face a regional catastrophe escalating into a global apocalypse. A war between India and Pakistan would not be a local disaster. It would trigger chaos that could last for decades, reshaping Asia's map and potentially rewriting the world order. It's a horrifying scenario, straight out of a doomsday movie. But it's not impossible. All it takes is one miscalculation, one rash decision by a leader in a moment of tension. That's why peace remains the only shield, the only way to protect humanity from such a disaster. And dialogue, no matter how difficult, is always better than the horror that war brings. But are we truly safe? Or are we closer to this nightmare than we think? What do you think? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more mind-blowing scenarios.